It's almost 3 hours. We haven't done a 3 hour show in, man, a year. I don't think. That's what happens when you get me start talking about military stuff. I just love it so much. They introduced mining into our Star Citizen game in this latest upgrade. After a year of waiting on tenterhooks, there's another term for this big update and upgrade on the game. They finally, so many people were so pissed off at the delays with the Star Citizen thing that Star Citizen, in order to appease the peasants, which I think is actually a profoundly good idea, they sorry, I lost my train of thought. They basically made a promise. It's kind of like God's promise with the rainbow, you know. After all of these delays and people just getting really insane, the whole thing's a fraud and money making scam and all the rest of it. Finally, they did something sensible, and what they did was Star Citizen said, "Okay, we're going to release 4 upgrades a year. Every quarter, we're going to release an upgrade. We'll release one end of March, end of June, end of September, and end of December. With whatever we've got, you're going to get it." So we just got an upgrade. And this version of the game includes mining. And I was doing a little mining, and somebody said, just for the fun of it, it was fun mining magnesium or, you know, tungsten on some alien moon. So I was doing some mining, and some kid was saying, why do we have to take, because we take the stuff back and we get paid $130 for it or something, because 99% of what we take back is rock. Why can't we just take back the silver? And I said, that's mining, kid. That's mining. It is not a glamorous or particularly convenient way to make money. It's just nothing but hard work. But what was interesting about the mining thing, the reason I bring it up, since I wanted to get the 3 hour mark and I'm determined to do it. What's interesting about mining in that particular game is that you've got, eventually they'll bring in a bigger ship, but right now they've got, essentially, it's a Winnebago. It's a one-man mining ship, and it's got a laser and split these rocks, then another laser that, you know, takes the minerals out of the rocks. You fill up your little storage bins, and then off you go. And then you got to fly away, and you have to fly back to some place where they're going to buy this ore. And flying, they don't hold a whole lot of ore. Really, essentially, one big rock is all you get. And so I'm watching this, and I'm saying, okay, so we got one individual down here, and he's in his little Winnebago, and he's putting his laser on that rock, and he hopefully does it well enough it doesn't explode and kill everybody. Kill him, because there's nobody else on the ship. So he takes this rock, turns it into ore, then he has to leave the planet, go all the way up into orbit, then he has to set up his navigation system and do a quantum jump back to some base or another. Then he has to land on that base. Then he has to get out of his ship. He has to walk inside this kiosk. He has to sell it. Then once he's sold it, he has to go back out the distance, go back into his ship, take off, set the new target in there, go back to the planet, take the 3 or 4 or 5 minute ride down to the surface, find another rock, and start working on that. And I thought, now, wait a minute. Despite the fact that he's an internationally famous pervert, known predator and miscreant Matt Lloyd is actually a financial guy, and he's the secretary of the Treasury for this little country of ours. And I watched this mining thing happen, and I said to myself, and then I said to him, Matt and Foghorn, I said, wait a minute now, hold on. If we're talking about having a country, right? So if we're having a country and we have shipping lines, private shipping lines, not government shipping lines, why don't we do this? Why is it? It looks like anyway, why don't we do this? Instead of doing all of this stuff, why don't we have the mining ships just mine stuff, and then they transfer it to a little ship, and that ship takes it to orbit, and when you've got a whole bunch of it, then a big ship takes it someplace and sells it. And while all of this is going on, the miners are doing more mining. And I thought, this Matt Lloyd is going to figure out a way to make some money off of this. And this is the power of organization, you know. Plus, there are guys like me whose primary reason for playing the game is to get in fighter jets and blow up other bad guys. So, if you've got people down there mining, and piracy, as I like to say, is the ultimate expression of buy low and sell high. If you've got a country, you've got a private company that's mining as a company, not as an individual. You've got military type guys who are assigned to protect this thing, and that's all they want to do is they just want to fly around and make sure no bad guys show up. And the efficiency of having the miners doing the mining, the transports doing the transporting, you could make a fair amount of in-game money relative to other organizations. And since everything in the game is eventually going to be in-game money, in the hands of somebody other than myself, a financial empire could be constructed. I just thought that was really cool. I was like, there's money lying on the ground. There it is. There's money in these rocks. Not a lot of money. So if all you do is load up your Winnebago and have to drive 100 miles and sell it, then drive 100 miles back and get another rock and drive it back and sell it, I don't think it's worth your time. But if all you do is smash rocks and hand them off to somebody else, and you do 8 hours of rock smashing, and then you move 200 rocks at once, you start making some money at this, because it takes the same number of people, more or less. And I'd love to start an Aurora Republic Facebook page, Radiated Alfalfa Cakes, which is one of the coolest names I've ever heard. Yeah, Matt says, we don't believe in making money. We believe in making a shit ton of money. It's the third time I've used that word today, and I hardly ever do. So, two can live as cheaply as one, and five can mine 20 times as effectively and cost the same as five. And I just love it. I love it. I love it. That's what I love about the game part. I love the messaging part. I'm so much into the video. I spend so much time working on all of this stuff and the characters, all this jazz. But in the game stuff, when the game approaches reality, when there are things in the game that model reality to the degree that I can watch a sun come up on an ice moon, or where applying the rules of capitalism and division of labor and all of that stuff, which works in the real world, when they work inside the simulation, I really get a little kick out of that. I don't want you to start one, please, Cheryl. We're keeping really tight control over all of the graphics and all of the logos, and we got. I don't want to. I would prefer not to do that right now, and I would prefer not to do it until we're ready to really break it out of this little group and raise a little money, and then when we do, we'll do it all the right way. So please don't do that. I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything, but this is not something I want done on the spur of the moment. So I think that'll do it at 3 hours and 4 minutes. You bastards got your money's worth. You got your pound of flesh out of me. See, you got your gram of flesh out of me. I don't even know how I got that. Probably my wife trying to stab me in my sleep. I wouldn't blame her either. All right, that'll do it. So once again, now we begin the 11-step program of shutting down the vehicle once we've reached the terminal. So as always, by the way, Ustream said, now IBM, of course. IBM, doesn't that sound archaic? Isn't it just strange to hear the letters like IBM? IBM is involved in software. IBM is going to be taking this over. IBM? Really? Oh, it's amazing how the world changes. They say not only will we not be able to do it free after August 1st, but I better save everything because they're going to erase the whole thing. I've got virtually everything on YouTube. And since I repeat myself so often, I don't suppose it really matters. You want to talk about distributed commentary. Okay, that'll do it. And I will say hello to my wife. Thank you so much. All of you are so kind to her, and certainly she deserves it. And look forward to having her back here and doing another show and having her answer your questions. By the way, there's a lot of by the ways. That's how we got to 3 hours. She is actually working on a sort of an ongoing blog called America. It's not America Through My Eyes. America by my eyes, something like that. It's got America, my, and eyes in it, and it was just a little bit off on the grammar, and that's why I loved it so much. But she's writing about what she sees here, and she's adding pictures, and it's on her Facebook page. And if you will stay where you are, I'm going to link to that page right now in the comments section, and then I will put a link up on YouTube when I do this. Just hold the phone, please. And you'll all be able to appreciate some really cool pictures from a very, very talented, very beautiful, smart, sweet person. But enough about me. Hang on. Here we go. And thank you again for the kind words. We both appreciate it very much. Oh, that's a personal page. It's in Russian, you see, and there's something about the Cyrillic alphabet that makes me think I've had a major aneurysm of some kind, and all the letters are just completely. They look enough like English letters so that you can read things like Mabibi e kap nurbili kunub ha makteb kanasi means nothing like that, but that's what it looks like. Hang on now. No, go away. I know it's tempting. I know, very, very tempting. That's also the personal page. Where is the professional page, darling? It should be here somewhere. June 21st. Wow. That's a good-looking woman right there. That's a fact. Hang on. I'm going to try and see if I can find it one more time. If not, I'll just post it and we can have her come and talk about it. It's not that. All right, I'm about to give up on this only because there's nothing worse than dead air accompanied by the host basically trying to talk him into something one more time. Is it here? Well, I reckon I am going to have to throw that link up. Yeah. Sorry, baby. My fault. I couldn't find it. I know I should be able to. In any event, that'll do it. I think it's time to go home. 9:09. It's a 3-hour show. You lucky, lucky, lucky bastards. All right, Captain Jax and Foghorn and known miscreant Matt Lloyd, we will see you guys sooner rather than later as we continue our quest to turn that gigantic blue sea blood red. And the rest of you, I will see very shortly. I am going to now initiate the stand-down procedures. So, as always, first of all, we'd like to thank our fans from watching on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. It's been great. We'll see you next week.